Hey dude, don't look at me. I might be the dedicated wizard main in our little Marvel Rivals lobby of the internet, but trying to understand the gaming industry's meta is worse than trying to get good at even using Doctor Strange in that freaking game. To think there was a time where our worst enemy were the damn patch notes. What in the name of Merlin's clearly receding temple is a question asked angrily within the modern gaming discourse, more than the 3 words of drop the price were put into the first Mario Kart World stream chat, and ironically, both statements have been said by the same general player count of gamers that includes most people trying to survive the normal mode wages being forced in the nightmare mode economy these days, because it seems that since the Nintendo Switch 2 dropped in the summer of 2025, even though those ridiculous high temperatures in the real world came down, I guess the price conditions of the mainstream gaming market forgot to turn off its GTA Sunny Weather cheat input. Like dude, I think even our elders with multiple prestiges unlocked within gaming experience can attest that this is a milestone point in time for so many outside and especially internally bottled up factors in game creation that are just XP maxing together to launch just even the new gaming entry points alone way past the map borders of decent pricing, right into the 2D illusion backdrop of another thing that we gotta price out of our life just so we don't run the risk of falling through the map into homelessness. And yeah, sure, gaming always has been pretty up there in price in its first few years being presented to the public. I mean, upon hearing the PlayStation 5 Pro price tag, I'm sure day one PlayStation 3 owners felt more nostalgia than any emotion. But I just think that now, with everything increasing so fast and not being this gradual increase that we can justify, out of spite at least, plus the overnight downright ludicrous Def Jam crazy price hikes that spark as a byproduct of the weirdest shit of our timeline that we can only hope stabilizes in the near future, man, I gotta level with you. It can be pretty hard to be positive about the overall outlook of gaming as a casual person who still wants to get their hands on all the newer stuff releasing, because you know we're in for it if the Black Friday deal is just what used to be retail price the year before. Like, what the hell is even that? And with social media being the backbone of everything, there's a lot of hate to be sold to you on the topic of this hobby going downhill from this point forward, since our species thrives on negativity like each rage bait post contributes to a Kratos Spartan rage. But just tuck that crash out for just one hot minute, because instead of pressing L3 plus R3 and letting all these price DLCs make you stop caring about video games in general, well, if you're that far gone already, I probably can't help you specifically, but if you still want to enjoy gaming from this point on, then I think it is truly important to reflect on your interests that you already have or plan to establish, so that you can make peace with whatever is financially doable for you within video games, man. Hell, even if you can afford that $900 DDR5 RAM payment after 6 months and 22% APR, then I still think these abnormal prices allow all of us to collectively pause the game of never being happy with all the gaming stuff we already own and just sit back and save money while we save our gaming lifestyles that a lot of times felt more special when we were kids, since most of us cherished the few games and systems that we had until the next blue moon when we could finally get something on the grocery trip with our parents that we weren't even supposed to be at. So dialing back the time in that respect and just finding ways to enjoy gaming when the hobby we dump billions of multiple currencies into isn't even on our side half the time, it's just a really good way to find peace nowadays, especially since the real entry into playing video games is way cheaper than you or any big box store holding large inventories of Switch 1s at their damn near Switch 2 price tag could have ever thought. And you know, to be honest, I can't act like I know anyone who isn't a deal chaser in gaming these days, since the only people who trust their dollar to day one gameplay experiences anymore are reviewers and Reddit thread demons who we all turn to for obscure questions when a game first comes out. We've all done that. But also, when it comes to any level of an already released game, the scene of retro game hunting and pre-owned deals is such a popular thing to be in right now that you would genuinely be low Joy-Con battery at the mental to not check for good prices on consoles and titles on every available outlet that they could possibly be sold outside of retail, where you risk getting the unskippable Power Pro membership offer from GameStop employees. Telling them no is a quick time event that we're all used to passing. Because even though all the new games coming out can be hella enticing to want to get your hands on, or really just your finger muscles ready to press a download button out the box, chances are you already own a piece of the most modern hardware, or you got some sort of legacy system spanning from last gen all the way to last Game Boy era in your possession. But what I'm getting at is that I'm sure you haven't played every game compatible with whatever console or PC is at your setup right now. So instead of focusing on release schedules, try focusing backwards on already released games that usually have major discounts by the time they turn 1 or 2 years old. 10 years old. As a population of people who are generally spoiled with access to so many different things, it gets first level easy to get wrapped up in the gameplay loop of always wanting the next thing. But in the midst of these next thing price tags, how could you not relieve yourself into all these cheap game lots, amazing eBay listings, stores actually thirsty to get rid of their inventory? Like, there's an entire world of cheap gaming that's not being utilized by folks who keep buying games at full price just to never beat them. Please believe they do walk among us. Video games are essentially everywhere, so while the hobby's popularity can work against players to force us to be numb to gaming franchises collabing with the weirdest brands you couldn't even pay your local wizard to foresee, it still does work in our favor to make games so present commercially that you can expect a good deal at some point down the line for most gaming items available. And those good deals are only accounting for the physical aspect of game collecting. Anybody out here that owns a gaming device that connects directly to an online marketplace, even the unofficial ones, these players already know that platforms like Steam or GOG can make you feel rich off of just $30, dude. Like, these places have deals so often and so abundant that you can't help but just feel encouraged to actually try out different genres at a price point that likely won't affect your precious account with automatic payments set up, because that shit can sneak up on you. Game companies have shifted the majority of their commerce to digital storefronts for the convenience of it, so the deals are natural to touch down over there first. And it doesn't help that there's a trend of a lot of addictive online only games on these marketplaces being made free in price tag, only with the catch of having, microtransactions spam down your retinas every loading screen. But it doesn't take rocket science to realize that there's still millions of players who can play these type of titles and not spend a single dime while doing so. So where money is concerned with gaming overall, it can be sometimes a bit of a 3-digit setback just to get your toes into the water. But man, once you're endless ocean full body deep into your system of choice, you will swim freely once you realize that games are the last thing that you will ever have to pay a similar price for, as long as you expand your research and just expand your patience to find good deals. And even then with that, if it's actually another game system itself that you're trying to buy, or possibly your first one, which in this economy is like taking your first Pokemon into a 5-star raid battle. If it's an older device or a current gen game system that's a few years old by now, then scouring the pre-owned market and waiting for seasonal sales is obviously the best way to find a good price on that. But if you're dead set on getting something brand new or something that hasn't even come out yet, then pacing your budget to save up for it is all I got for you. Whatever you can spare every month to put towards your $900 RAM PC build is pretty much the rate you should live by, and hey, good luck. I just really find it funny how we simultaneously reached a point where mainstream gaming creativity has stagnated with crazy expectation, and also where those same said games and devices to play them on keep elevating in price. So I just think that we could all just save a little money right now by stepping the hell back and enjoying whatever is most convenient to us right now, which for a lot of people can mean the games that they already got on the shelf or pirated games stashed in their PC's D drive. Either or, it depends on the day. Like, dude, setting limits on your gaming lifestyle that keep you from perpetually spending money in this hobby not only allows you to retain more enjoyment from the titles that you pick up, but also contributes to the general reconditioning of your mind to understand that no matter what is releasing right now, you're never truly missing out on a damn thing. New AAA games only come out every 5% interval of your lifespan now anyways. Of all the things in life that we're forced to put our financial attention to, gaming is genuinely one that should never be considered at that tier of importance, because its whole purpose is to be a little thing to pick up or put down whenever you get the urge to. Literally, your average phone is more of an endgame emulator boss than most even know. But with so many people sold on the idea of needing everything just for the sake of it, it starts to cloud a lot of players' judgment as to what they even truly enjoy getting out of video games, which most times the smoke only clears in your brain once you get that post new purchase clarity and you got all these expensive gaming items around you that barely have any permanent fingerprint marks on them, which, that's how you know you got your money's worth. And relative to what's important in life, having a bunch of random wasted video game things around you isn't the worst problem to have, but I'm just trying to make the point that the process of buying them and then keeping up with whatever's around the corner in gaming is much more tedious than it ever should be in these unpredictable times. So whether you just can or don't want to afford the newest gaming generation, you could put up a pretty decent argument that the mental state of those who follow the cheaper lifestyle of obtaining video game hardware is much better than those who forgot they're still paying for multiple subscription services all these years later. I would assume, at least. So yeah, moving at your own speed is the key to getting the most out of gaming, and honestly, it's a message that I think is needed in this wave of negativity that's so much more easier to market to people who get caught up in the race of always checking new game trailers to see what's coming, since life can only be more easier when you learn to appreciate what's already within your grasp. And that's all that I got for today, man. If you enjoyed, leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.